Hello, welcome to another edition of Good Goal or Bad Defending, Leeds edition. They're playing the Liverpool. Bit of a weird game this one, lots of goals. Not much defending going on, really can't comment on a lot of it because it's all in transition. And it's very difficult when you're defending on transition that those mistakes, are they there because you could have done better, or is it just because the other team's faster than you? When one person's faster than another, it makes all the difference in the world. But here we are. We're setting up for this little goal right here. And let's see what happens. In it goes. Trent plays a ball forward. He's actually, I don't know. There's so many uh, opinions around this football player. But there's one thing that everyone really can't deny. The kid can play. Like, he's a hell of a player. I remember when Gareth Bale used to play left back at bloody Spurs. And I was, he's terrible left back. Yeah, but he was a fantastic football player, and eventually ended up playing him up front. He ended up being the Gareth Bale that we know. So maybe they've got to do something else different with Trent, because they rag on him for defending badly. But from one of the games I've seen of him playing at Liverpool, most of the time, well, not so much this season because apparently Liverpool have been crap. But they don't defend anyway. They're always on the front foot. Well, they have been for the last 4 years. So I can get why they say he's a bad defender. But he hasn't been defending for most of his career. So, but here he goes playing this ball forward. Knocks it on. Ooh, as we can say right there, that's a donkey touch. The problem there, okay, as soon as he's made that donkey touch, he's puts himself in all sorts of pressure. Actually, probably the right thing to do right now is try to get it to this guy in front of him here. Get it to him, and so we can get the ball under control and start moving the football. That isn't what happens because his donkey touch is terrible. Look at that. That's terrible. All of a sudden, there are massive problems. Two players putting their hands up for, I think it's for a handball, but we'll do that in a minute. It's important that we do that because I can comment on quite a bit on that. And we go, playing the ball again, knocking the ball. These two, they should have just carried on playing. You can keep, again, these two players have just stopped playing the game. Again, in the Premier League, two players want a decision from the referee. They stop playing the game carries on, and they're out of the game. Is the goal happening because of them? No, probably not. But are we going to blame them? Yes, we are, because they should have just carried on doing their job, and they didn't. So the ball carries on going. Cross, tapping on the back post. 1-0 to the Liverpool. Now, we are going to look at this handball because it goes to VAR, but I want to talk about this because it's important, because I've got sort of in my head rules that aren't exactly right for the way that they do it, but my rules make more sense, obviously, because theirs are fucking rubbish. But let's get a little picture of that and we can see what we can do. Okay, it did go to VAR, and of course this is not a handball here. It looks like it from this angle, but if you look at it, they had a different angle from the VAR thing I saw, and it's not on these highlights. Imagine, so obviously you've got Trent's head here, but that arm is in line with his body from the side. So if you're looking from this angle, that's in line with him from that way. So it's not actually impeding. No, let me put it a better way. If his arm wasn't there, it's still going to hit the side of his body. So if his arm's not there, it's going to hit the side of his body. It's not a handball because it's almost, it's irrelevant. Because his arm, to me personally, right there, if you look at that shot, I think it's a handball. I genuinely do. But when you look at it from the other angle, which I don't have on this video, see if I can find a quick slot of it somewhere. No, couldn't find it. I'm useless. Yeah, it's a different sort of thing. But we'll move on to the next goal anyway. Here we go. There was a turnover down the other end of the field. Jota picks the ball up and runs pretty much the length of the field with it. You tend to see this a lot with Liverpool goals, apparently. It's like they don't really score when the other team is back defending. They only ever seem to score when the other team comes out to attack them and their players are faster than yours and they run down the other end and they smash it in the goal. Obviously, you can see he's got a couple of options here. He can go himself into this little gap right here. Or he can play the ball over here. There's a couple of things you can do. Let's see what he does. He plays a ball here to Salah. Remember, like I've said in a couple of the other things about body shape and body position. Look at his body shape. He's facing the wrong way. How does he adapt to it? Again, you can see the pace that he's just passed these two guys. He was behind him a second ago. Now he's over here. So let's see what he does adapting to this body shape and body movement. Does he do anything? Yeah, he does. He just kind of lets the ball roll with him as he goes. I don't think this guy can do anything. It's not a good goal. It's not really bad defending. It's just that one team has players that are faster than the other team, and they just outrun them down the field. It doesn't necessarily make for a good goal. It doesn't really make for bad defending because they can't physically do anything different. They're not fast enough. And actually, look at this. Look what the keeper is. The keeper's marking the back post here, isn't he? Didn't notice that before. He's on that back post. He's left this wide open. Good job, keeps. Good job. Shuffles across. Oof. Too late though. Not enough. In the back of the goal. 2-0 to Liverpool. Let's go on to the next goal. See what we can find. Here we are. Liverpool in possession. Mo Salah passing the ball back here to a defender right here. I don't know. I'm not quite happy with Liverpool here in the defensive shape. Trent, apparently you're the new defensive midfielder or whoever this guy is. One of you needs to be sitting in the gap here. I know you've got possession of the ball, but there are 3 players here. You can't both be on this side of these 3. One of you has to be over here on this side. Otherwise, this situation here causes a problem. So let's look and see how this situation causes a problem. So when he gets the ball there, he wants to pass it right there. That's where he wants to pass the ball. And you're not there, and you're not there. So he's got no option now. He wants to turn it to the keeper. Okay, that's what he has to do because this guy is not there. But both players are past this white line here. Oh, and Liverpool lose a goal. Yeah, you can see that from there. Look, he's kind of his touch is bad. Yeah, that's half the problem. But also, he's confused because he doesn't have the easy pass. There's no easy pass for him. He can't go back to Mo Salah because his body position's wrong. Look, he's facing that way, so that's the only way he can play the ball. His first touch is bad, so it takes out being able to pass it back to Mo Salah. It's just terrible defending. Oof, there you go. He's expecting an easy ball. He could have gone to Virgil, but he doesn't. Terrible defending. Let's go on to the next goal. This goal comes from a throw-in in the other half. Lob the ball in. Over it's coming in, as you can see. Doesn't seem like too much of a problem here. Forward's coming in. The midfielders are marking him. Comes in. Gets a little flick on the ball. He's stepping in to pressure the ball. You've just been beaten, and the ball is now, you're on the wrong side of the ball. You have to put the effort in to get goal side, however that looks. Like you've got these 2 players here, right? As soon as they're out of the equation, however it looks, they've got to start making an effort to get back on goal side. There's 5 of these players up here, half the team. As the ball goes, boomf. Now we are, right, so let's just freeze that there. Actually, no, that's not right. Oh, look at the bottom corner. Look at the bottom corner there. There's a little Afro dude, Mo Salah. There's 4v3 now. Now he's realising it's a panic. And now they're in trouble, 4v3. And as I was saying earlier, Liverpool seems to score their goals just basically because their players are faster than yours and they can outrun you. And that's all that seems to happen here. I'm not like normally I'll be ragging on this guy over here, leaving this gap here, but he has to in this point because there is a player that is close enough for him to deal with there. He can come in a bit, not too much, but I don't think he really wants to because it depends on how fast he is compared to him. I honestly think that he's probably a slowpoke because he plays at Leeds. But yeah, there's a gap that's appeared here because their left back went in to pressure the ball. He left Mo Salah for some reason, and all of a sudden now they're in a situation. Beats the player there. That's a bit of skill there from that young lad. He don't know who he is. And off they're going. Now, oh my goodness, it was 3 versus 4 a second ago. Now, it's 4v2. All of these guys are still not goal side. That guy's still in the halfway line where we left him. That's why they're scoring here. Just completely and utterly speed of, well, people normally would say speed of play, but it's not speed of player, not speed of play. Different. Some more goals to Liverpool. Goodness knows how many now. Let's see what we can do and find out the next one. That was just outrunning them. That's all that was really. Just absolutely outrunning them in the transition. You can see that they gave them the space to run into as well, and they're all stepped up here. They've given it to them. There's too many people overcommitting for the ball. It's probably because Leeds scored that 1 goal. They thought they're in. in with a chance here. Fair enough. Let's try to get a second, keep ourselves in the game, and all of a sudden, have lost another one. Let's check out the next goal. This play starts all the way back on the Liverpool 18-yard box, just pretty much like the other goal. I'm not starting it back there because it's just exactly the same thing. Liverpool win the ball, their players move the ball really quickly and fast up to the front line, and the other team just doesn't get back in time because one team's players are faster than the other players. They're not necessarily moving the ball that fast as well. They're just running with it and doing it better than the other team. And they're just not getting back or overcommitting. I think it's a bit of both. I think they're overcommitting to get into the game, or they kind of know that the game's lost. So they're just throwing what they've got. Obviously, you got Salah here on the back post. He's unmarked there in the middle. I'm not going to draw the normal centre midfielders aren't playing centre midfield anymore in the Premier League. But that's the centre midfielders aren't playing centre midfield anymore in the Premier League box. And let's have a look what goes on. Boom, kicks the ball into the corner. And let's go for a foot race on and see who's faster. It's that simple. Now, if you look at the old body shape here, he kind of gives it to him. Well, he's kind of got to go for it because he's got to go win the ball. He's got to try to put some pressure here on that left back. And the left back just beats him, goes straight to the corner, and off he goes. And the next thing we know, let's play it forward a little bit. Still a foot race. Look, again. If we do that, we draw a line right there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Liverpool players. 1, 2, 3, 4 Leeds players. Look at these guys. They're knackered. Both of them heads down. Both of them. Look at them. Heads down, trying to get back in there. Yeah, that makes all the difference in the world. As this ball comes across, he has to go to it here. In the middle, he has to go to this ball. He's got no choice. There's no help for him whatsoever. Let's just play it forward. He has to go to it as soon as they go to put pressure on it. Just because of sheer numbers. Look, he can play it here to this little wee guy who just scored the last one, who did a dive over the keeper. He can play it to this little man here. That's Jordan Henderson. Don't ever pass it to him inside the box. Or this guy here. I mean, technically, actually, factually, inside the box, right here, is 3v2 inside their own penalty spot. It's mad. It's mad. And in the back of the goal. And here comes the cavalry coming to, and they're all too late. Now, here's the other part about it. I don't think they're really too late. I just think they're not fast enough. And there's two things there. They're not fast enough with their feet. They're not, athletically, they can't get back in. And they're not fast enough in the speed of mind to understand where those problems are going to happen. So let's just try to get into the next goal and see what we can find. Okay, we're just going to do this one from where the cross comes in. We're not going to do the little build-up play before because it's nothing special. It's not like they're beating them on transition or in pace like normal, like they were previously. Let's just have a look at what we've got defensively. Look, he's behind you. So here's the problem. When the player's behind you, it's his responsibility to mark that player, not his. It's a common misconception. Just because he's closest, he marks him. No, he marks the person and covers that space. He marks and covers that space. He marks and goes to the ball. That's how it works. You cover the space in front of you, not the space behind you. So this guy here needs to do one or two things. This guy right here. He needs to drop off and mark him, or push forward and mark him. He's in no man's land. And whichever one he doesn't do, he gets this guy to come in and do the other job. Because right now, he's not marking anybody, right? No one's marking Mo Salah, which is brilliant. I don't know why they didn't. Okay, that's nice and tight there. That's nice and tight there. Forcing him to go out wide. But of course, he can't really go out wide because he hasn't stepped onto Mo Salah and said, hey, the player behind you telling you what to do. Hey, pressure the ball. Go onto that ball. Let's have a watch what happens. Oh, he does do it. Look at that. He's marking Salah. Oh, fantastic. He is starting to go to the ball. Look, they're doing it right, boys. They're learning. They're learning. Ball comes across. Anyone spot the problem? There's a man unmarked on the back post because this guy didn't know what to do. He didn't know to go with that guy or that guy, so he did neither. And the ball's in the back of the goal. To be fair, I think that's a really poor shot. I think the keeper should have had that. Head down, head down. Head down. He's giving that old, look up at the ceiling. I'm done here. Yeah, they're not having a very good day at the office, and I think they want out of this game as fast as they possibly can. Let's have a look at the next goal. To be honest, I think at this point Leeds is shut off as a team. I just don't think they care about being here anymore. I think they're losing, was it 4 or 5 at this point? They're just done. They don't care about this game of football. They just want to get home and have a cup of tea. They're Trent's got the ball. Apparently, he is now playing in midfield, which I don't think I think he normally kind of does what he wants anyway, really, doesn't he? It's half the problem, I think, that apparently what Liverpool's got. Trent just runs around the field. But here we go. This young man here is going to pick out an absolute diamond pass. It's going to be straight down the middle of the field into, as we can see, I think it is going to be this space here. And now you're actually going to see, because this is good. That's good shape there, because they're nice and tight. But there is the gap. He needs to be about there. Because he's not, see the run? He can now make his run into that gap. Do you see that? Go back and look at that right there. So let's just be perfectly clear. Not only is it a good pass, it's because this gap here, the space between these two defenders has opened up. He's able to make that run, and he's able to put that pass in between there. There's no way you should be able to put the ball straight through the middle of the two central defenders, except for I have a feeling that these two have kind of checked out for the day because they're losing so poorly. And that's why this ball's... It looks better than it really is, but these two have really helped it. These two players have really helped make that ball look absolutely world class, when basically all they should have done was cover their spaces. They didn't. All right, let's have a little look at the next one. Oh, my complete apologies. That was the last one. That was the 6. Oh, my God. There were so many I didn't even know. Let's just have a little look at the last finish of it. There he is. Actually, I think this was quite a good touch on his chest. See if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. Bump on his chest, brings it down. It's not bad there, boys. I like the pass from Trent, even though it was so obvious that they had to play it in there. The centre-backs telegraphed it for him. But overall, it's probably one good goal. And the rest was kind of... It's not bad defending. It's just they're not physically able to keep up on that transition with the Liverpool team. There's at least 2 that was bad defending. But 2-1 then, I'd say the bad defending. See you next time.